Hey everyone, Josh here. Scammers are everywhere, as you know, and the real estate industry is no exception. I've got 3 different scams we're going to talk about and how you can avoid them and avoid getting taken advantage of. The first one involves rentals, and I have a personal story to go with this one. So, about 3 months ago, I was with a client looking at rentals over in League City, and we get to this house. And we pulled up. I thought it was a little strange because the for rent sign was taken down. It was thrown out in the yard, and there was also a big pile of garbage sitting outside. Kind of weird for something they're trying to market for rent. So this house had a lockbox on it that had a code that was only good for a certain amount of time, and you have to go on to a web page and register and get the code and say it's only good for access for like 30 minutes. So I'm outside trying to get the code for the lockbox, and this car comes pulling up in the driveway, and there's a very angry guy hanging out the window yelling at me, what am I doing at his house? So I thought that was a little weird. The house is supposed to be vacant. So I go up and talk to him and explain that I'm showing the property to a client, and he said, well, you're like the second agent that's came by here over the last few days. I just moved into this house last week. Signed all the papers for it, and I don't understand why people keep coming by. They need to get this lockbox off, and he was very, very disgruntled. So I asked him, okay, who have you been talking to when you did the lease for this house? And he pulls out his phone and gives me a name. So I go on to HAR and look at it, and it's owned by a very large property management company, and the names don't match. So I was like, hold on, let me research this a little bit, try to figure out what's going on so people quit bothering you. So I tell my client, let's go, let's get out of here. And I call the property management company, and they explain to me that basically they've gotten no applications on the house, they've got no lease on the house, they don't know anything about anybody living there. And what had happened is, so these types of houses that have these time access lock boxes, a lot of them you don't need an agent or any kind of representative to go by to look at it. So somebody will go and they'll schedule a tour online, they'll take the key, they'll go copy the key, snap a couple pictures of it, list it on Facebook or Craigslist or somewhere like that, and usually for quite a bit under market value. And they'll find someone that wants to rent this house, and they'll fix up a fake lease, take their money, give them the key, and the scammer will disappear. So you think the tenant that's moving in, they're now out their deposit, their first month's rent, maybe a pet deposit or anything else, and now they're basically squatters in this house. So it's kind of a mess. So if you're looking at rental properties to avoid this, try to look at legitimate sources. Look on HAR.com, look on Zillow. On Zillow, there's also for rent by owner properties on there. Get to that in a second. Have an agent send you properties, but if you're looking on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or some other source where anyone can post it, try to make sure that that's either a legitimate property management company. Get their name, the name of the company, look it up, get the phone number off their website and call it. Just verify that that's a legitimate company. Or if it's for rent by owner, go look at the tax records, see who actually owns the house, and try to match the name to the person that you're dealing with. You can also hire an agent to do all this for you. And if you are using an agent for rental properties, a lot of times their services are not going to cost you anything. They get paid a referral from the listing broker. If you're trying to use them to help you with a for rent by owner, you might have to pay them because a lot of them, they don't want to pay for referral fees. So be careful with rentals. The second one involves land, especially vacant land, something that's obviously not in use. It may be overgrown, something that nobody really cares about, and probably the owner lives out of state, or there's no immediate neighbors that live right there to take care of it or watch over it. So people will go and they'll forge driver's licenses and other documents, and they'll list this property for sale. And in some cases, these people have actually been able to sell these properties, and then the owner finds out about it, and they're like, what happened to my land? So that is something to watch out for. Again, if you run across something like that that's not listed on MLS, so you find it on Marketplace, look up the tax records for the property, find out who owns it, try to find that person's phone number online and make sure the phone number matches, or call them and verify that they're actually wanting to sell that property. You can also get a real estate agent to do this for you. And the last one I want to talk about is wire fraud. So it is very easy to fake emails. Say an email coming from a title company, that's not super difficult for a hacker to do. So if you have a house that you're going to be closing on and you get an email with wire transfer instructions, always contact the title company to verify that. Either call the number that you've been working with them, go look up their number on their website. Don't contact them on the number that's on the email, because it's probably fake if it is a scam. And that will save you a lot of headache, because if you wire a very large sum of money to someone that you don't intend to, it's going to be very difficult to get that money back. That's about it for today. Y'all be careful out there, and if you're in the market for real estate in the Houston area, I would be happy to serve you, whether you're buying, selling, leasing, or investing. I work the entire Houston area. You can contact me at 832-280-8340. We'll talk to you later.